opportunity to take a look at Miami here over the last few days as we've dealt with some roster moves and things like that. Just looking back over last season, I mean, they obviously made a lot of progress, improved their team, and took some more steps this year to do that. Some of the players they've acquired, so they're young. It's a talented team, obviously well coached, disciplined. They'll make a lot of mistakes, take advantage of opportunities. So we have to do a real good job of playing a good, sound football game, and obviously coach and play a lot better than we did down there in the second game. So got a little head start on them on Monday, but really this is the week that we're in now, really game preparation week. So try to get the most they can out of it and be ready to go on Sunday.
Bill, how much are you looking forward to this Sunday and with the fans, a sense of normalcy of having football back? It'll be the first time fans are here for a regular season game in a couple of years.
Yeah, well, they were here in preseason, so I think we're acclimated to the change. It's what we've all been used to most of our careers. So, but always good to get the season started. This team's put in a lot of good work in the off season and training camp, and it's time to go. We could always use more time, but it's time to go. So hopefully we'll be ready.
Bill, you've always said when it comes to quarterbacks, the two most important things are accuracy and decision making. How much of that with a quarterback is just sort of innate, and how much of it can you coach, teach, develop?
Yeah, well, you always try to teach the players everything you can to help them in whatever position they play. So that's our job. That's what we'll continue to do.
You look at somebody like Mac, is coming out perceived that accuracy, decision making, that was one of his strengths. What have you seen from him so far in those areas?
Yeah, well, I mean, Mac has a lot of strengths, but we're looking at a whole different level than what he was at, and so we'll see how it goes in the NFL.
Bill, I know they're a game plan defense, but at least last year, Miami seemed a high-pressure defense, 41% blitz. In terms of preparing for the opener, is that something you feel like you can expect in what goes into kind of preparing for that as a quarterback who hasn't obviously seen that defense or any defense at this level?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think since Coach Flores has been down there, they've pressured quite a bit on defense. So we've played them 4 times, and we've seen quite a bit of what they do. I wouldn't say that they have shown a lot of drastic changes in preseason. They made a few things I'd say are a little bit different for them, but overall it's still pretty much what it is. They have good corners, and they don't mind pressuring the line of scrimmage and letting those guys do their thing. They've been pretty productive doing it, so I'm sure we'll see both.
Coach, what about Brian Flores' cover zero package makes it so difficult to go up against?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. So I'm sure we'll see it. We'll see how it goes.
Coach, what challenges does Tua and the Dolphins offense present to you?
Yeah, well, they did a good job against us last year. They're a well-balanced offense. They like to run the ball. They have a few different ways of doing it, and do a good job of spreading the ball around to their receivers, tight ends, running backs, quarterbacks, mobile. So they're pretty well balanced. And Coach Godsey's a new play caller down there, taking over for Coach Gailey. So we'll see what all that brings. But so they're a well balanced offense. That, can attack you on a lot of different fronts. They have big receivers. Have Waddle. It's a big addition for them. Have some other explosive players in the receiver unit. Jasecki's a problem. Backs have a good skill set. So young offensive line. I think they'll just continue to get better because they have a lot of youth on their offense. I'm sure as they grow, they'll continue to improve as a unit.
Bill, I know Waddle hasn't obviously played a game yet, regular season game in the league, but he got a lot of attention during the draft period for his deep speed. But from what you remember watching him in Alabama, see somebody who could be used as sort of a short area, intermediate area guy as
Yeah, he has a really good skill set. He's fast, quick, punt returner, go to the ball in his hands. Tough kid. Yeah, he's a good player.
Expecting one of those guys who now sort of view more as a big receiver as opposed to a tight end, where he flex on the off and line him up outside.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd call him a big tight end.
Bill, captains are expected to be named today. What do you look for in a captain as you have had them?
Whoever the players select.
Over your years here, what have you seen in terms of, common ground between the captains that have been named?
The people that the players respect and want to be their representatives in various situations. I mean, I guess you'd have to ask the players who voted for him exactly what their criteria was, but we've been very fortunate. We had a lot of good leaders, and have a lot of good leaders on the team, and captains are certainly a part of that, but there's a lot of the leadership that comes on the team in addition to whoever the captains are, so see how that goes.
Bill, when you look at how Miami's defended tight ends, at least maybe just specifically last year, how do you see Coach Flores assigning that responsibility in coverage with how heavy man coverage they are, safeties, linebackers combination?
Well, they have really corners that are playing safety, and some of the, there's pretty good size there. Like Eric is a bigger kid who's also played safety as well as corner. So, I think if they play man to man, they'll either match up to him, or if they want to add coverage to him, then that's probably something I'm sure they have in their defensive system to do it.
So just one more follow-up on Waddle. When there's a player with that kind of speed in the slot, how challenging is that? Just the variety of routes, I guess, that you can run from in there, and just adding somebody who has that kind of deep speed. How challenging is that? Yes, for a slot defender.
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem. It's we have a fast player in there, so could be a tougher matchup if you didn't have a fast player as your inside player, but see how it goes.
Bill, you've had a great deal of success in your career against rookie quarterbacks. How can you take the success that you've had and the things that you've been able to do against rookies to befuddle them, flummox them, apply that to Mac and help him maybe avoid some of those cracked balls, some of the things that Brian and his staff might try and do to confuse him?
Yeah, well, we'll prepare our players the best we can, but I mean, Tua is no rookie. He's got a year of experience, and so we've seen him. We played against him, so we'll deal with him. You have to ask Coach Flores about Mac. I don't know.
What do you think will be Mac's greatest challenge on Sunday with everything that he has to handle?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of things that happen in a football game, so let's see how it all plays out.
Bill, I had one last one. With Sam Cunningham passing, just in your history in the game, I'm curious your thoughts on Sam and his passing and what he meant to the game, the organization, and even beyond that.
Yeah, well, Sam had a great college career and pro career here at New England. I never coached Sam and only played against him, a couple times. He was in, of course, the AFC. We were in the NFC, so with the Giants, so we didn't really, fortunately, cross paths too much with him. But big fullback in a two-back era, where fullbacks now are, the few of them that there are primarily blockers, whereas in that day, going back to Jim Brown and Jim Taylor and a bunch of other fullbacks, those guys were ball carriers. Franco Harris, and Sam was that. So he could block, he could run, had great size, Yeah, so it's sad. Yeah, we lost two great Patriots here in the last week. Appreciate you asking.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
I've gone up against thousands,
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
but there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade? Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands,
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
but there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade? Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor